everyone. Welcome to our second Leadership Book Club on the book that we're doing right now is actually an industry book. So we switch back and forth between a leadership book like John Maxwell, Leadership 101 we just did, to an industry book, and back and forth and back and forth. So this is going to be a little bit unconventional because I've got to pull up a little cheat sheet for the links that I want you guys to have. So you'll see me going back and forth between the PowerPoint and a little Word document that I created that's going to have all of the information on it. So what I have done is I'm actually traveling out to California next week, and so I wanted to make sure that you had this information before I left, just because this is a really important part of our businesses, is how to build up your cold market. So your warm market, which we will be covering next Wednesday, are your friends, it's your family, it's people that you know on Facebook, people that you have built up a little bit of a relationship with. And as a matter of fact, your current customers and your current business builders, both of them are considered your warm market. The second somebody buys something, you're now in your warm market. But eventually, you will run out of family members to talk to about how to build a business, and you're going to have to go to a cold market. Or for me, I love my family. I love sharing with them everything that I'm doing, but I don't like to make them feel pressured about, hey, do you guys want to sell Young Living? So I actually started with my cold market, and that's just where I live. I've built my entire business off of cold market and small classes, so I want to share a little bit with you about this. And this is in Terry's book. It's on page, I want to say it starts on page 65. So the first thing you want to think about when you are entering into your cold market is you really want to build a marketing landscape. You don't want to look out there at all of the marketing and all of the people that you can reach, especially with social media, and just go, you know what, I'm going to put this out there and hope that it reaches and talks to everybody. That will really dilute your focus. You have got to figure out who you connect well with, who you want to connect well with, and then build all of your marketing with that ideal customer in mind. Now, we will almost never attract the ideal customer, but that is the person that you want to keep in your head when you're designing all of your advertising. I don't care if it's a brochure or if you're putting together an expo table, but you want to think about the person that you actually want to do business with. So that's a good question that you want to ask yourself. Who do you want to do business with? What type of social groups is that person involved in? Think about yourself. Where do you like to hang out? Where do you imagine your ideal customer likes to hang out? What kind of income level do they need to have? What I like to do is I like to think about who you connect with naturally. And what I mean by that is that these are the people that you have a very natural connection with, and you don't have to do any sort of research to figure out how to talk to them. So the people that you connect with naturally are 10 years older and 10 years younger than you are. So from your age, 10 years on either side are people that you'll connect with naturally. You're also in the same season of life, so if you are 30-something and you're newly married, you'll connect well with other 30-somethings that are newly married. If you have small kids, you'll connect well with other people with small kids. Sometimes those don't fit the same age dynamics. Like let's say that you're in college and then you're an adult who's continuing their education. You can still talk to other college students. You will probably connect with them naturally on a few things. So then it's also easier if the person lives within a 25-mile radius of you. You can connect on things like the weather, the snow or the not snow, the season, things like that, local politics. Those are all people that you connect with naturally. Now, let's say that you want to reach outside of your natural comfort zone, okay? So I see this happening a lot with people in their 60s or 70s when they start a Young Living business. because the people who are 10 years older than them might be a little, they're going to be getting up in years, and the people who are 10 years under them, they're still fantastic, but you want to be able to grow who you talk with. So you're still going to be able to do that for sure. You just might have to put a little bit of research into it. So if you decide, if you are 70 and you decide you want to hit the market of people in their 30s, you're going to have to look up and start doing some of the things that people in their 30s do. Get apps on your smartphone. Be around young kids and feel again what that dynamic feels like to have a young child in today's day and age. It's a little bit different. My son is 7 now, and even people that are just having kids and they're having new babies, the world is still different even with just the 7-year spread. So in your marketing landscape, you want to map out a path, because in today's world, it takes between 3 and 15 touches for somebody to actually make a buying decision. Now, the upside is that you don't have to provide every single one of those touches. You just have to provide most of them. So if somebody goes to a community board over at a Starbucks, and they see your flyer up on the Starbucks community board, and it says on there, okay, if you are interested in having a more natural solution to your health, go to my website. And then they go to your website and they take a look. And then later that day on the news, they hear something about essential oils. And then on the internet, they see something about essential oils. Those are 2 extra touches that you didn't have to put in their pathway. You've just got to make sure that your information is front and center with them when they're ready to make that purchasing decision, okay? So one of the ways that Tim Sales says to build a very stable business is to actually start with your own neighborhood. So you're going to get a map of your neighborhood, and you're going to put a pin on top of your house, and you're going to draw a circle, kind of think about a compass, that is of 25-mile radius of your house, okay? A big circle around your house. And then take stock of what is inside that circle. Is there a school there? How many daycare centers are there? How many gas stations, libraries, Starbucks, coffee shops, restaurants? Look in that 25-mile zone and see how many grocery stores are there. What is in your immediate area that you can actually start interacting with right away. And don't discount anything. I mean, you might be amazed that people at the tattoo parlor want to hear about essential oils. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about your website. Yes, you actually need a website. And the reason why you need a website is because people expect you to have one. And if you are using any sort of social media advertising, which we'll talk about here shortly, you're going to have to direct them to a website. So the website that I like, I am such a fan of the duplicatable websites. If you go out to try to build a website yourself, it's going to take a tremendously long amount of time. You've got to come up with content and pictures and web hosting services and all this other stuff. And could I actually hold a training and tell you how to build your own website? Absolutely. But people do not buy these products based on a website. They buy these products based upon a relationship. So yes, you have to have a website. You want to make that one thing in this large picture of marketing, but it does not need to be one that you build. So I recommend that you look at marketingsense.com, and I want to give you, Marketing Sense is, it's $19.95 a month, but your first month is actually only $1 to test it out. And if you recommend 3 people to Marketing Sense, yours is actually free. So if you guys end up checking out Marketing Sense, I just put up a free and free link. It's not mine. Mine's already free. But pull that link out and use that when you go to sign up or to check out Marketing Sense, because it will actually help out other people. And then share it. If you have a few people that you share it with, ask them to use yours. Because if everybody's getting Marketing Sense for free, that's one less tool that you have to pay for. But for new business builders, this is one of those tools that I do recommend that people pay for as a cost of doing business because it is very valuable. So let's get back a little bit to that 25-mile local market area. Okay, we're going to get into some of these details, but we're not going to get into all of them. So we're going to start with Hot Pocket flyers. We're going to talk about putting flyers in store windows. We want to use community boards, coffee shops, drop cards, all of those other really fantastic things. And so let's get into a few details. So these are Hot Pockets. And this is not one of my favorite ways to market, but it does do good. It does bring people to your website, which is why we talked about the website first. You want people to have a website to get a hold of you from, and you also want people to have a telephone number. Now, what's funny about the website thing is I have actually started replacing my website with my Facebook name. I've had so many people find me on Facebook because on my advertising, I have my Facebook name over the number of people who have contacted me through my website. It's so funny how that happens. But what you want to do is, and I have a link for this as well, the instructions on how to actually create your Hot Pockets. And I'm going to put that up on the chat box. Like I said, the chat box is going to be a little intensive today. So there is your URL to get your Hot Pocket instructions. But what you do with your Hot Pocket is this right down here is actually a business envelope. Okay, so you take that number 10 business envelope and you chop it into 4 pieces, and then you go, you seal it before you chop it into the 4 pieces. And so 2 pockets, the 2 at the end will be made, and then you'll have to put a little steeple, in the bottom of the other 2. But it's really economical, and you just print out on this flyer something dynamic. And so I recommend that you kind of use this little thing right over here. Have a headline, the health benefits of essential oils. Put an emotional benefit in there. Stick a feature in there, and then have a free offer like visit my website for a free ebook, or to get a flyer, or to have a wellness assessment, or something like that. But put something in there that would really motivate people to want to take one of these. On these, even though in the picture they're plain, this is going to have your contact information on it, and it's basically going to be the same thing. Call me or visit my website. So these Hot Pockets, you can take double-sided sticky tape and put double-sided sticky tape on it and just put it up on community boards, any place that you can think of where you think it'll be a benefit. I've actually seen some of these when I've walked around downtown and there's been a really long blank wall. Sometimes people will actually stick one of these Hot Pocket things on the really long blank walls. Or like in colleges and like college hallways and stuff, it's really funny the out-of-the-box way that people think about using the Hot Pocket folders. So this is magazine bombing. And I know I kind of skipped a few in there that's actually on the list. Coffee shops, post offices, the community boards. This is on page 68 of the book, this whole list, by the way. But magazine bombing is actually one of my favorite ways to advertise to a cold market. And so what I do is I make a little graphic. And this one, I do it on 5x7 paper, so I can get 2 per page. And I find a really nice picture that's very attractive, and I just put some information on it. And this is one I threw together, right before the PowerPoint presentation, because I play with them a lot more than this. But, for example, you make money from home. Would you like to help your family become more physically and financially healthy all the while working from home? If so, give me a call. I like to put my name in there, and then I like to put my telephone number in there because people like to connect one-on-one sometimes. And then, of course, I have my website on there as well. And what I do is I print these off, I chop them, I cut them so they look nice, and then I go down to my local grocery store or bookstore and I stick them into relevant magazines. So if my picture is of a person doing yoga, then maybe I'll put it in that one. This one I might put in a mother's magazine. People are really interested in being able to make money from home to supplement the full-time income of the other spouse if you have a two-parent household. The days of I want to buy my private plane, although the lifestyle is important, I feel like what most people are asking for is an income supplement, and so this sort of flyer really appeals to that. And I call it magazine bombing because it's kind of like photo bombing, except it's magazines. So pull tab flyers. I did not actually create the ugly pull tab flyer that's on here, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what this looks like. So this is the little flyers, and you can find templates for them in Microsoft or on Word or just on the internet. There's all kinds of different things that you can do to templates that you can find for these pull tab flyers. And so again, here is the template that I like to use for what you're going to put on here. I don't like anything being black and white though. I think the more visually beautiful you make it, the more people are going to read it and be attracted to what you have and the direction that you're going to send them in. So let's talk about lifestyle expos. Expos are actually one of my favorite ways to get out into my cold market. And anybody that has done business training with me, when they say, Beverly, I'm new to an area, I don't know anybody, I don't want to talk to my friends and family, what am I going to do? How do I build my business? The very first thing that I tell them is they've got to get to a lifestyle expo that's in their area. Lifestyle expos are everywhere, and you can go to a health and wellness expo, or sometimes I actually like to find smaller, just really fun events. Like, for example, on Valentine's Day, I went to an event called Love-A-Palooza. And on St. Patrick's Day, I'll probably try to find like a cute little St. Patrick's Day get-together where there's a bunch of vendors. And it's just really fun. People love to connect at smaller events. And what's nice about the smaller event is that the tables are not so expensive. So here in Colorado Springs, we have a health expo that's in Denver every single year. That's about an hour up the street. The tables for that expo are almost $650. They are a ton. Love-A-Palooza cost me $50. So there's a big difference when you go from one kind of expo to another. So something else that I have for you is I actually have, I am going to go to my little cheat sheet here, and I have a list of things you should bring with you to an event. Now, again, anybody who has done any sort of business training with me at all, you know how I really like to keep things very simple. So there's that URL. I like to keep things really, really nice and simple. And when I do expos, I do the same thing with my table. And at first, I really put a lot into the table. And when my table looks like this was before the event started, which is why you see lots of blank space. But I had this is you can see the kit in the corner. So this is just one Everyday Oils kit with my pocket reference right here. So this is some sign-up forms, and these are some order forms. This is my business card. So, and then I just brought some extra, I had some extra pocket guides, so I brought those. And then this is Terry's cookbook because I thought that might be kind of fun. So I threw that up on my table as well. And then what these are is these are a bunch of refrigerator magnets that I designed. And this was really fun. The refrigerator magnet was great in getting people to talk because somebody would walk by and I would just ask them, would you like a refrigerator magnet? And they would say, sure, and they would look at it. And I would say, you know, this is a great cheat sheet for essential oils. It's a quick reference guide to, you know, what you can use essential oils for. And then, of course, my product guide. Now, I just happen to have this extra kit that I could use to, like, sell to somebody at the expo, but this is totally optional. I just like to keep things really nice and simple. And so You want to let people experience your products as well. And as a matter of fact, the table should be more about the experience than it actually is about the stuff on the table. One of the things that you would notice is I didn't have a whole bunch of flyers. I didn't have a whole bunch of brochures. I didn't even have a giveaway. I used to do giveaways at expos. And then I did a training with Tracy Ulrich, and she said, you know, if you have a big giveaway and you use that to collect a ton of contact information, when you go to contact those people, you're just going to have people that are disappointed that they didn't win. Whereas if you actually have a class, and this is the number 3 that you see up on the screen, it says, you know, you just say, hey, well, you know, we like to have classes in our area, or I like to do virtual classes, and we love sending cute invitations in the mail. If you'd like to receive one, give me your contact information, and then you hand them the sign-up form on the clipboard. And people will fill out their contact information in exchange for being able to get something cute in the mail. It was really fun. Even the guys were excited at the prospect of having something cute in the mail. So there's the event list, and this is the drawing slip. Let me copy this URL and put it over. This is actually a drawing slip that we have used at events when we do drawings. It's not often. You know, usually I'll have something like that as a way to attract people. It's just not my favorite way to do it. I would rather have people that are excited at filling out the information because they want to come to an event over people who want to win something. But the contact form is really good, so I wanted you guys to be able to have that. So something else that you can do besides lifestyle expos is you can actually go to the professionals, okay? So what I love to do is let's say that you're going to go get a massage. Bring your favorite oil with you and have the massage therapist add it to their oil that they were already planning on using on you. Somebody else had mentioned that when they go to the hairstylist, they bring their Young Living shampoo with them and ask them to use that instead of whatever it is that they have at the salon. I've also have had people ask stylists to add like a drop of cedar wood or something like that. You know, those oils that are really good for your scalp. To add a drop or two to the shampoo that they are using and massage it into their scalp. So you can bring the Young Living toothpaste to your dentist and just ask your dentist their opinion about the Thieves toothpaste or the Aroma Bright or whatever it is that you like to use. You can do the same thing with your doctor. If you take Young Living supplements or if there is an oil that you love to take every day, bring those to your doctor and just see what they think. It's such a great way to get a conversation started about essential oils, and it will give you some added confidence because your doctor will give you some great information back on your supplements. So other cold market advertising that I have heard is flyers going into outgoing mail. Now, I pay most of my bills online. I can't think of a single bill that I write a check for and actually put it in the mail. But there are some people who are in network marketing that change that for the sole purpose of putting a business flyer for Young Living or like some product information into the outgoing mail envelope. So if your electricity bill comes, instead of going online and paying it online, you would actually write out the check, and into the envelope with the check would go a little mini flyer about Young Living essential oil products, and that is going to go to the person that opens up that envelope. So trust me, those people probably need some serious stress away, something like that, so you will be blessing them by sending them a flyer that has a drop of oil on it in the mail. So restroom drops as well. You know, that is like putting Hot Pockets up in the bathroom or something like that. You know, be thoughtful about it. We don't want to be leaving garbage around for other people to have to pick up. So, you know, try to be as clean and thoughtful as possible. You can also barter with other businesses. And the way that I've seen this look is you can tell somebody who maybe owns a yoga studio, hey, if you'll let me come teach a class or put up this flyer in your yoga studio, I will sign up all of the leads that come from your yoga studio under you. This is also really good to do with people that have newsletters. So if your local yoga studio sends out a health and wellness newsletter every month, ask them if you can put a little article about essential oils in the newsletter, and in exchange, you will give them some of the leads that will come back, okay? So see if you can't barter with a different business. I've also had people create testimonial audio clips. So they will record themselves talking about different Young Living testimonials, typically their own, and then they will put that testimonial audio clip out on Facebook, or they'll record it, they'll burn it onto CDs, and they'll hand out their own testimonial audio on CDs to people that they know who listen to books on tape. So you can also buy leads. Again, probably my least favorite way to reach out into the cold market is the purchase of leads. Purchasing leads is probably the hardest way to get the job done. Leads are typically sold more than one time, so you might be the third or fourth person that actually calls that lead. And having been somebody that somehow got my information onto a list, it can be really annoying. So, just so you know, purchased leads, though, people have built very good businesses on purchase leads. So I'm not knocking the industry. If you are somebody who can really work a phone line and you can call somebody, listen to the Professional Inviter series that I recorded on myyounglivingbusiness.com. People have taken that and then purchased leads and have really been able to build some good businesses and bring in some good business builders. Okay. Let's talk about social media advertising. This is the last big rock that we're going to get to during this phone call. Social media advertising does not work overnight. As a matter of fact, no advertising works overnight. I know sometimes we hear the stories of some dynamic product that went to Facebook and got 1 million orders overnight. Well, guess what? That story is a bit of a fluke, because that company, I can almost guarantee you, they were working with social media ads for years before they stumbled upon one that worked. I always call it the 20-year overnight success, because that story is really a fallacy. It just doesn't work that way. No advertising works overnight, least of all social media advertising. So it's got to be part of your overall plan. It's got to be one of those 13 touches, not the plan. If social media advertising or if any one of these is your only plan, you're going to have to expand your thinking a little bit. And again, you have got to know who you want the advertisement to go to. Don't just throw it out on Facebook and think you're going to cast a wide net and bring in as many leads as possible. It just doesn't work that way. That is not very efficient. So think about not only who you want the ad to go to, but what you would like that person to do specifically. Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to give you a phone call? Do you want them to join your virtual class? Who do you want that advertising to go to? Posting, believe it or not, regular posting on your Facebook can be just as effective as the advertised posting on Facebook. So the difference is you're kind of crossing over between, from your cold market and you're getting into your warm market. Facebook doesn't just always throw a bunch of things out. So into people that you don't know, it will typically stay within veins of your friends. But posting can be a really, really effective form of advertising. So I created a video on how to actually create a Facebook ad. And this video is a little bit raw. I have not edited it yet. I like to pull them into YouTube and make them a little cleaner, but it didn't upload to YouTube fast enough for our purposes. So I'm in its raw form. Here is the video on how to create Facebook ads in particular, even though Facebook is not the only, it's not the only thing out there. There are other ways to do it. So last but not least, when you are thinking about your cold market advertising, take some of these things and some of the things that Terry mentions in her book and choose 3 things to actually do well. Don't try to do them all. If you try to do them all, it's really going to start to get diluted. So, and all of this is in Chapter 5, by the way, of How to Be a Stunning Success in Network Marketing. We just covered pretty much all of Chapter 5. except for the warm market stuff, which we'll get to next week. But choose 3 of those things and then stick with those 3 things for a full 90 days. Look at the cost and count the cost before you start. If you're going to choose to pay for Facebook advertising, pay for Facebook advertising for all 90 days and just know that's going to be your cost of doing business that month. So then at the end of the 90 days, you want to sit back and assess what worked, how it worked, and how it could work better. Okay? And again, if you are doing the business training, you know that you're going to need 7 to 10 hours every single week to work specifically on your Young Living business. This counts as part of the 80-20 split. This is in those 8 hours. So when you are getting into your car and you're driving over to your local grocery store and you're taking your flyers and you're sticking them in magazines, that is part of that reaching out and talking to clients section that is so important in building your business and actually putting money in your pocket. Next, consistency, consistency, consistency. If you have to choose one way to advertise, even though I just said not to do that, but if you had to choose only one way, choose it and do it often. Be consistent with it. You don't just do it once. Like if you're going to take up Facebook posting as a way to market, then you need to be Facebook posting every single day. Do it at least once a day. If you're going to take up magazine bombing, take it up for a full 90 days and be consistent with it. Figure out the day when that magazine switches over from the month of January to the month of February and show up again in February with that ad, sticking it in the magazine. Because remember, it's going to take 3 to 15 touches. So you've got to keep reaching out there. Somebody that saw your flyer in January may have wanted to use that flyer to call you and lost the flyer. So when February comes back around, have it so that they can see it again and see it again and see it again and see it every single month. Every time they get the magazine from that store, they see your flyer there. So you've got to be consistent with it. Now that is, I think that's everything I have for you today. I am going to just check my cheat sheet really fast. And yep, it looks like I have given everything that I had intended to. So thank you everybody for watching and for sticking with this phone call. I know it was a little bit longer than our normal phone calls. But if you stick with these things, you are really going to have a lot of success in what you're doing with your cold market. I am going to be recording this call, so you can look for it. I'll post it up. It'll be a YouTube link. And have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, everybody. And good luck, and know that I am pulling for you and your Young Living business. Thank you.